What is up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jamie. In this video, we're gonna talk how I got, A star for Business Studies A-Level. If this is your first time watching this channel, hi, my name is Jamie. I post about A-Level revision stuff and also study tips about GAPS Master Activities 2 and also university stuff. So if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Let's start! Tip number 1. When talking about the business A-levels, I think knowing the key terms and what does each terms means is really important. This can help us get the K marks in our essays, which is the knowledge mark. Okay, so in my school, we use this book and this textbook is really complete. What I mean by key terms, it is something like this. Here, you see the one in the green box? Basically, it's like, for example, what does centralization mean? And here it is written like the meaning of centralization is keeping all of the important decision-making powers within head office or the center of the organization. You don't need to remember like word per word literally to even get the mark in our essay. But to understand like what does centralization mean and to be able to explain it in your own words, it will be great and help you a lot when writing your essays. Another thing to remember is the advantages and disadvantages, benefits and drawbacks, and maybe like the costs and like the benefits. Knowing this stuff helps us gain knowledge mark, which then we can further use that knowledge from the definition, the pros and cons, to make into a powerful analysis and application into the case study. If you have a textbook like mine, I do recommend you reading the pro and cons or like the benefits and drawbacks in each table in the textbook. So here, if you can see at the bottom, which is in the purple table, there is the benefits and the drawbacks. And some tables might have a lot of benefits and drawbacks, a lot of pros and cons. What I do usually maybe just memorize 2 to 3 of each benefits and drawbacks. If you memorize at least 3 of each benefits and drawbacks, I do think that you can answer and at least write something when an essay asks you about a certain topic. Past papers! When we're talking about getting a high score in something like a Cambridge A-levels, I think everybody needs to see the past paper to practice them in order to get high scores like A or A stars. Since the questions that come out on our exams are usually kind of similar to the past papers, especially those which are more relevant like 3 years back or 5 years back. What we can do about the past paper here, we don't necessarily need to do from number 1 until the last number in the past paper. However, we can do by questions per topic. Here I have a printed out past paper in front of me. What we can do here, we don't need to do from questions 1 to 7 because it is time consuming and might be overwhelming if it's your first time to do a complete past paper. What we can do here is you can look straight away which topic are you interested or you are learning at school right now. For example, you are learning about marketing strategy. So you can immediately skip to question number 3 and do only question number 3. Or even taking a step back, we might not even do the past paper right now. If you're still in the beginning of the year and there's still a lot of months in front of you before the real A-level exam, you might start small, for example, by reading the mark schemes. Know what the mark schemes want from us. For example, there is a 10-mark question essay. What makes up the 10 mark? How can we get all the 10 marks? For example, there are knowledge marks, application marks, analysis marks, and also evaluation marks. So if we can optimize it all, we can know how to get these marks, then we can maximize our score. K marks means that it's knowledge-based marks, which is definitions, pros and cons, benefits and drawbacks, and all the other theory that we can easily find in our textbook. Analysis mark is more interesting since there's this thing called the chains of analysis, which means that we can answer the question and then have a link of thinking, like analysis, like if this happens, what happened next? Then what might happen next? And this should all be related or applied to the case study. That way we can also get the application marks. And lastly, evaluation marks. This is talking about judgment, about long-term, short-term. So which one is more useful at the end of the day, which one is the most important thing for the company to do, and all those stuff. For a much more deeper explanation about this knowledge mark, analysis mark, evaluation mark, there is a YouTube channel that I do recommend you to watch, which is Taking the Biz. I'll link it in the description below. Practice doing the past papers or the practice questions but under a time constraint. From my experience and also heard from some of my friends, When talking about writing essays for business studies exam, time is one of the challenges that we need to overcome as the exam participants. This is because we have a limited time to answer several essays. Therefore, we need to be strategic enough to complete all of the questions within the given time. For example, if we have an hour to write 2 questions of essay with each 10 marks, that means each question we need to spend roughly 30 minutes for each question. However, if the marks are uneven for each question, then it's better to divide the time not by the number of questions but by each mark the question carries. For example, if one question have 20 marks and another question have 10 marks and you have 60 minutes of exam time, therefore you can spend 40 minutes on the one with 20 marks and 20 minutes with the one with 10 marks. However, I recommend not to split it like really until there is no spare time left. I recommend to divide it, for example, 50 minutes divided 25 for each 10 mark questions and having 10 minutes extra time. Maybe to proofread yourself or maybe to, in case if anything happens during the exam day, you are able to finish it before time or in time. I know it might be overwhelming to write like a full essay even for just one question. Therefore, what you can do, if it's still in the beginning of your school year for A-levels, you could try to just write a single paragraph from a single question. So usually for a 10-mark question, we write around 3 paragraphs, I would say. So you could try just writing one main point in one paragraph for one question. That way, it will be less stressful for you in the moment, and as long as you're consistent in practicing for a few months, then you're good off. After that, I do recommend you to practice full papers like a few months before taking the exams. Therefore, you have like the writing stamina, I would call it, to write for 2 hours or even 3 hours of exams without being tired and without having to stop and taking a break for too long. Next, here's a quick way to find out which topics you already understand and which topics you still need more revision. You can go to the syllabus for Business Studies A-Level. The syllabus is provided in the Cambridge website, so we can just go straight into their website and open the syllabus. Then we can go to the A-Level part, which is paper 3. In here, we can see above that this is the main topic up here, and below it, there are the subtopics. Here on the right hand side, we can see the details for each subtopic. This can be really useful for us because we can quickly see each bullet points and check whether we understand this subtopic or not. For example, benefits and disadvantages that a multinational might bring to a country. Okay, if you can mention 2 benefits and 2 disadvantages now, it means that you probably already understand this subtopic. So you can move on to the next subtopic immediately. You can keep on doing this for all the bullet points in the right hand column and see which one you don't really understand. This way you can know which topics you need to spend more time for revision and you can be more strategic in your study process. Of course, I am very blessed to get an A-star for my A-level business because I have a supportive teacher too and also supportive parents. Like my teacher helped me check my essays since like almost the beginning of my year 12. If you have a teacher who can help you check your essay, it will be really amazing, especially if he or she can give you feedback for you to work on or for you to improve in your next essays. Overall, there's no shortcut to getting A-star. Please do the work, please do the past paper, write your essays, train your muscles to write faster so that you can finish the task in time. I hope this video helps you. I wish you all the best for your A-levels, business studies, and your other subjects. See you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Bye!